Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale. On this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how to make little cute, delicious, crispy meringue cookies. Now, this is a recipe that I've been making for a really long time. I haven't made it in a really long time until recently, until I decided I wanted to share with you, so I started making them again. The problem is, when you make a meringue cookie for a girl, it's like doing girl math in your head, because it's like, oh, the only ingredients you need are sugar and egg whites. So it's not like they're really unhealthy for you, but there's still sugar in it. So you keep just eating them and eating them and eating them because you're just like, oh, there's no flour, oh, there's no egg, oh, there's no butter. So they're really delicious and really crispy. And like I said, this is a recipe that's worked for me time and time again. So yeah, I hope that you enjoy it. The ingredients you're going to need for them, you probably already have. You'll just need some egg whites, sugar. I'm using some shredded coconut, pinch of salt, vanilla extract, and some cream of tartar. Those are the ingredients. I mean, you can't really get any easier than that. You don't have to use the coconut if you don't want to. I like to add it only because when these bake, the coconut gets a really deep brown color. Not burnt, but like a deep brown color, and it's so coconutty and crunchy and delightful. So I love the addition of that, but I also make meringues in 1,001 ways. I mean, different, as long as you've got your meringue base, you can put whatever you want in them. So, yeah, and the first thing you want to do is get your oven preheated to 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Once that's ready, take a baking sheet with some parchment paper, get that ready for you. And then I also got a plain round tip in just like a regular piping bag. This is a disposable piping bag. You can also do this with 2 teaspoons. I mean, you don't need a piping bag. It just makes things easier. Let's get started. Now, I will advise you to use a handheld electric mixer or like a big standing mixer. Unless you want to give yourself a nervous breakdown and do this by hand, I say go with the mixer. So in here, I'm going to put in my egg whites. I'm just going to turn this on and let them get a little bit frothy and then we add in the next ingredient. I'm going to add in some cream of tartar and some salt. And the cream of tartar stabilizes the egg whites. I'm going to mix that in just for a few seconds. And now I'm going to slowly add in my sugar. You want to mix this until the egg whites are a really glossy and thick color. And then when you take the meringue in between your fingers, you shouldn't feel any sugar. I should have mentioned that that's super fine sugar. That's really important. If you don't have super fine sugar on hand, take regular sugar, put it in a food processor for about 2 minutes, and it's super fine. That's what I did. So I'm just going to let this go until it's the right texture. That's perfect. So I'm just going to add in some vanilla extract. Just mix it in. That's perfect. I'm just going to take my little whisk here. Just going to dot it on the pan. It doesn't have to be perfect because you know where I'm heading with this. I just need something to help my parchment paper stick. So, get that on. Oopsie. Perfect. Don't you love how I never do a good job with the parchment paper? I know. This base is perfection. Oh, amazing how 3 egg whites can look like that. I'm gonna put a little bit more of this right here. Okay, I'm gonna put this batter into my plastic bag. Smells so incredible. But I'm not gonna lie, this batter, this mixture makes me want a pavlova. Oh, I love pavlova. I love meringues. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. A while ago, when I resurfaced, this recipe came back up in my recipe box, I read an article on somebody making eaten mess. I never knew what an eaten mess was until I read that article. It was on a cookie magazine or something. Oh my goodness gracious, that dessert is amazing. And it is so simple. It's like a berry mixture with cream and meringues. And when we made it, my husband was like, what is this? What is this? It's like white, but it's got texture. And I was like, yeah, that's the meringues. And he was like, oh, but there's like fruit in here. I was like, I know, there's a strawberry mixture. He loved it. So I think I'm gonna have to share that recipe with you guys. Just making little mounds, a couple inches apart. They're not gonna really expand. And that's it. I'm gonna do the rest of the batter later myself. I mean, how cute are they and how easy is that? The great thing I love about cooking is, honestly, You don't need to be a certified pastry chef to know how to do it or to love to do it. So that's why I love sharing it with all of you, sharing, my love of food with all of you. Now I'm just gonna lightly sprinkle my shredded sweetened coconut all over the top. Oh, it's gonna be so good. Don't panic if the coconut gets a really lovely, sort of crunchy, toasted brown color. It's like, again, it's not gonna be burnt, but it's not gonna look white. So don't worry about that, because that is what brings out the flavor, and it's gonna be super crunchy. So I'm just gonna continue to do that, which again, don't do it too much. Don't put too much on. There you go. Now, these are gonna go into your preheated oven, 275, for about an hour and 15 minutes. Halfway through, I want you to rotate the baking sheet so that they kind of cook evenly. They're gonna develop a very slight, light golden color. They're not gonna be brown, they're not gonna be super white, but they're gonna develop a really lovely golden color. And then you wanna turn the oven off and leave them in the oven with the oven door shut for 3 hours. You want them to completely dry out. You can leave them in there overnight. You want them to completely dry out. Don't open that oven door, because that's really crucial to this recipe. And I'll show you what they look like once they've gone all through those stages. They'll be super worth it, so just trust me. My meringues are finally done, and they're exactly how this should be. The coconut is really golden brown and crispy and sweet, and little meringues have slightly changed in color, but they're still pretty pale, and they're very, very dry, which is key here to getting that crispiness. I'm not gonna lie one bit. My husband and I have already eaten like 6 of these because they're so good and addictive. You hear that? And they almost like, they might be crunchy, but they melt in your mouth. Like once you get over that crunch, so good. Go to laureandkitchen.com if you want to get this recipe. Let me know how you like them. I hope you enjoyed spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.